All right, everyone, we've got some exciting Lost Ark news to get into today, including information on new island content, the upcoming Argos raid, and just generally speaking, what's going to be coming to the game in March. And you can tell by the title of this post here, March Update Reveal. All this information here is official. It's coming from the official Lost Ark website. They also tweeted it on their official Lost Ark Twitter, so this is not rumor or speculation. This is confirmed information about the game that we know is going to be coming. And those of you guys who have been following me on YouTube for several years, you guys know that across different games that I played, I don't just like putting out guides and informative content. I also like putting out information about news and updates that come to the games, and I just find it more fun to go over this stuff kind of in a video with you guys. So hopefully you enjoy these types of videos as well. But let's break down this post here and let's take a look at all the stuff that we can expect in the game in March. All right, while we launched just a few short weeks ago, fans of Lost Ark know that there's a wealth of content present in the Korean version that has yet to make its way to the Western shores. We'll be working closely with Smilegate RPG to infuse content into the Western version at a steady cadence starting in March. Today we're revealing some of the key features releasing in March, and in the near future we'll share a roadmap that covers the top additions coming to Arkesia over the next few months. So that's pretty interesting. We're going to get an official roadmap that's going to have more info as well. Let's get into this new content that's going to be coming out in March. Please note the following features are not a complete list of content included in the March update. Additional changes and fixes are in progress, and we'll share comprehensive release notes closer to when the update launches. So story episode Kaden includes Asteri and Illusion at Bamboo Islands. So this is going to be an expansion upon some of the existing island content that we have. And I'm not going to read all of this word for word here, but if you actually take a look about midway through here, you can see that players will need to have completed Phaeton alongside completing the following quests: Yorn, Whispering Islet, Start of Our Story, and Illusion at Bamboo Island, End of the Trials. So these are going to be the prerequisites for this new island content, and both Asteri and Illusion at Bamboo Islands are recommended for players at item level 1100, which is the introduction to tier 3. So that looks like that's going to be coming in March, and obviously the really big thing that a lot of people are very highly anticipating and very much preparing for. This is kind of why everybody is really rushing for their item levels to try to get all of their stuff done before the first Abyss raid, Argos. Encounter an entirely new endgame activity, Abyss raids. Similar to Guardian raids, players will need to work together to defeat a Guardian boss before the time expires. With a limited number of revives available to the party, Abyss raids will pit 8 players against a Guardian, but these are bigger, badder, and much more difficult than your average Guardian. Players will need to progress through 3 distinct phases as they work together to vanquish the Titanic foe. In the 3 phases, the Guardian will grow more powerful with different mechanics and attack patterns. Each phase has its own rewards, collectible once per week, and different item level requirements for players to participate. So the important thing about this, we know that this is obviously going to be coming to the game. It's been known for a while. This is just, from Korea and other versions of the game. We know that this is going to be the first Abyss raid. And the important thing to note about this is that it looks like it's official in March. Now, they have a little disclaimer there that they said nothing is like super duper official, but based on the current plans of Amazon and based off of, their March update reveal, considering this takes up a big chunk of it, it feels like it's pretty much a part of their plans to have this officially come out sometime this month in March. So, keep working on those item levels, keep pushing for, tier 2 and tier 3 if you guys are still working on that, because you're going to want to make sure that you can actually enter this raid, and you're going to need a decently high item level to be able to do so. This isn't all the content that will be included in the March update. Stay tuned for the full release notes, including details on additional changes and bug fixes. We'll share more, including the date and planned downtime, closer to when the update is ready. Make sure you're following our social channels and playlostark.com to see the upcoming news, not to mention the roadmap reveal. I'm definitely interested in the roadmap. Roadmaps are usually really, really good to get a good sense of what is going to be coming to the game, as well as a time frame. The problem is, like every other game that I've ever kept up with in my past, like forever, for all eternity, like the last decade of games that I played, every single time that I've had a game that I play follow a roadmap, not a single one of them has ever stuck to their roadmap. They've all like gone way off plan, or they were like way far behind, or things were like way out of order. So it's a bit tricky for developers and publishers to put this stuff out, because it really it makes it feel like they have to kind of have a lock on how they're going to handle content releases when they make an official roadmap, because at that point it's really easy for the players to like hold the developers and publishers accountable if things don't go according to plan because they released an official roadmap. So we'll kind of have to see how that actually works with Amazon and Lost Ark. But I'm definitely excited for the raid. I'm excited for this new island content as well. I'm excited for the possible rewards, even more so, honestly. And that looks like those are the two big things that are currently planned for March. And there's already so much to do in Lost Ark, honestly. I think some people might even feel overwhelmed. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to do in the game, so no need to rush and put too much stuff out too soon right after the release of the game. I think there's plenty enough to do for people right now. And I also wanted to highlight something else. This came out the other day as well, and this is not really like update stuff, but this is just current ongoing issues. Really quickly, I'm not going to read this word for word, but especially if you guys play on the EU servers, there's been so many problems with like login queues and disappearing items and just problems. Just generally, EU has been having so many problems with the game. So they posted another one of these official. This is by Amazon, posted on their official website, and they kind of go over all of the issues. Bug with Crystalline Aura. Europe West Crystalline Aura attendance and event rewards, Europe West March login rewards. So obviously if you switch to the different region, making sure that you end up getting all of your rewards and all your stuff that you're entitled to. Matchmaking issues have been a major problem in the EU area, and it seems like they're aware of it. They're working on a fix, but just generally, if you want to get into more details on this, it has a lot of the issues that a lot of people in EU have been experiencing, which fortunately a lot of folks in the NA servers have not really had to experience, or if you have had to experience it, it's been very minor. Like I haven't really had, there's been maybe a couple of days of login queues the entire time that I've played Lost Ark, but besides that, basically no login queues, no server crashes. We've had a decent amount of server maintenance, and they actually do talk about that. There's been a decent amount of it, but the game is new. It's to be expected. Nothing really too crazy out of the ordinary on NA, at least compared to the issues that have been going on EU. Now, the last thing that'll end off the video, and I'm not going to get too into this because as somebody who is not like a veteran of a different server, Korea, Russia, this is not something that I feel like I can bring as much discussion to the table, but there has been announcement that they're actually going to be nerfing some of the Guardian raids and Abyss dungeons. And you can actually see here the list of Guardian raids that are going to be nerfed, as well as the list of Abyss dungeons that are going to be nerfed. It's tier 1 and tier 2 content, and I'll kind of just, you guys can make of this as you will. As somebody who hasn't played Korea or Russia, it's hard for me to really chime in too much about this. The one thing that I can say that I do agree with a lot of other like videos and notes that a lot of people have already talked about this is tier 1 and tier 2 is kind of just the stepping stone to the real content, which is tier 3. From my understanding, tier 1 and tier 2 didn't really do very well. It didn't succeed very well on the same scale in Korea as tier 3 did. So just think of like tier 1 and tier 2 as kind of your learning experience. Don't focus too much on it. Don't get too caught up on it, because your goal is really to try to get to tier 3, which is where the real game begins. That's where all the fun stuff happens, and that's also when the game in Lost Ark really started to take off. That's when it did really well, and tier 1 and tier 2 weren't really looked upon as a huge success in Korea, from my understanding. So anyway, that's about it here. There's more stuff, but I'm not going to get into detail. I'm not going to read word for word. Update to gold seller spam and bots, and regarding future downtime, all this sort of stuff here, more technical stuff. I'll leave links to both of these articles in the description, though. The March update reveal and also the Lost Ark update to top issues. So if you guys want to take a look at this in more detail, feel free to. And I think I'm going to leave off the video here. So thank you guys for keeping up to date with me on this. I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, consider leaving a quick like. Consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this in the future. And feel free to check out the Twitch stream as well, twitch.tv/salt, where I'll be streaming Lost Ark as well as other games. Anyway, that's going to be it for now. Take care, everyone. Have a good one. And until next time.